So here's a little musical history of Plymouth Argyle.
Formed in 1886, the Argyle won the World Cup. Not really, but stay with me.
We have all the time in the world.
The first World Cup was in 1930, but in 1924 they went on a tour of South America and beat the soon-to-be first world champions Uruguay 4-0. And they beat Argentina 1-0. Eat that!
We have all the love.
They play at home park, decade after decade, rebuild after rebuild. It was destroyed by German bombers during the Blitz on Plymouth in World War II, but thankfully was rebuilt. And now there's plans to rebuild the grandstand, but that's been delayed. In 1973, Santos came to play in a friendly, which means that Pelé played against the Pilgrims. The Great Ones scored, but went home unhappy as Plymouth beat them 3-1. Plymouth Argyle's history starts with the fans. Year after year, they travel thousands of miles of motorway to follow their team.
The road is long, with many winding turns.
In some seasons, away fans have covered over 12,000 miles. That's a lot of motorway.
Who knows where? Who knows where?
In the last 20 years or so, Yo-Yo Club isn't far off the mark. They've been in the Championship, close to falling out of the league altogether, but let's honour the fact that they've won 5 Football League titles, 5 Southern League titles and 1 Western League title.
Ain't heavy. He's my brother.
Rivalries include fellow Devon sides Exeter and Torquay, and their managers have included Peter Shilton, Neil Warnock, Tony Pulis, Ian Holloway, Peter Reid, and right now, John Sheridan. And they're still very much in a crowded League Two playoff picture this season. 9th at the moment, although in the last 10 games they won 5-0, been beaten 4-0, they've beaten Fleetwood and Chesterfield, but lost to Bristol Rovers. I'd keep them off the betting slip. That's a brief musical history of Plymouth Argyle.
Bob, memories of Plymouth going to see games?
Yeah.
Seeing them come and hosting them?
Yeah, quite a few times. I'm presuming it's Chesterfield that are supposed to be playing this weekend, which is why they haven't got a game.
Exactly.
But of course, if you want something exotic about Plymouth, I'll give you this. Go back Wednesday afternoon, that wonderful moment in class in geography where they draw the blinds and say, we're having a film today. And it's lovely. And you get Africa, the dark continent. We take you to the Kingdom of Benin. Well, let me tell you something about the Kingdom of Benin, shall I?
Yeah.
Football's very big there. They played in 2 African Nations Cup. Stephen Sessegnon is their most famous player, of course, the West Brom player. They've got Rudy Gestede, Reader Johnson. But the captain of Benin, the man who's known as the King of Benin over there in the kingdom, is Romuald Boko, who's at the moment bench warming for Plymouth. Can't even get in the first team.
Well pronounced.
Thank you very much.
That's your Radio 4 voice, that was it. Been practising that.
I noticed that as well. When I was going through that last night, putting that together, I noticed that as well. It was like, Benin? And I clicked on it. I was reading about football there, Bob. What about Plymouth? What's it mean to you, Perry?
They took the most away fans that there's been at the Emirates in the FA Cup. They took 9,000 fans, Plymouth Argyle. So obviously it's a big club. And during the week, Ruben Reid scored the Exeter, and he was the first Plymouth player to score 20 goals in a season since 1993-1994. That was Steve Castle. Only 3 other times in the last 30 seasons has a player even got into the teens. So not even 20 goals, even into the teens, and it's the same player. And he's a Plymouth Argyle legend, and Bob would obviously know him. I'm not sure if Sam would know him. It was Tommy Tynan. Tommy Tynan's the only player to score 20 goals in a season.
Sam, obviously they're not playing this weekend, otherwise you would have been taking your helicopter there.
My memories of Plymouth Argyle are to do with a Portsmouth pre-season tour. I went down there to do... The only commentary I've done down at Plymouth Argyle is on a pre-season tour. So the game wasn't great because it was a pre-season friendly. It was the middle of summer, and the press box, the commentary box at Plymouth. Is it home? It's home park, isn't it?
Park.
Yeah. It's behind glass. It's like being in a greenhouse. I sweated like you wouldn't believe. It was unreal. It was like 400 degrees inside this commentary box. No joke. It was awful. And the game was terrible too.
It's amazing how that ground, since they moved into it, it's went through so much, as I was saying, and that it was absolutely level during the Second World War, and it's been increasing. This plan now is to put in a cinema and an ice rink and all sorts of things.